Okay, greetings, everybody. Nice. All right, on this midnight edition, I'm trying to do it earlier, but that's not happening. Yeah, I'm trying to get my energy back too. So, yeah, the future is unknown, that's for sure. Yeah, some of us have it easy and some of us don't, at least on a time schedule. So, tonight is Logan's Run, Dystopian Reality. It's year 2274. What do I feel like we're living at now when I'm saying that? Well, according to Logan's Run, well, they live in dome cities. They're not allowed to be outside in the real world. I don't think they are. That's why they call it Logan's Run. But I think they kill you at 30. I don't know. Just a name came to mind. So they kill people at 30, if I'm remembering that right. Now, what's the whole point of that whole reality is unclear. I think it was the point of our reality. We'll go into some of that. And THX 1138. I haven't done one of those in a long time. So Logan's Run. I don't think I've ever done a channel on Logan's Run. Maybe not. I guess maybe we're finally in the escape moment. Others just, well, obviously we're here to, the soul needs to learn from this reality. Of course, after a while, you get kind of tired of it. But we are attracted to this for our own reasons. And of course, there's a contract there. Is that always supposed to make any sense? We're not allowed to know the whole deals, obviously. But yeah, THX 1138. That's I guess everybody's just bald and they work on machines all day, and they live underground. That's the only difference. So, and they're both practically the same of running, escaping. So yeah, Logan's Run. I forget his name, but him and the girl escape, and I don't know if THX. I think it just Robert Duvall's on one of the escapes. But yeah, the girl in Logan's Run, the guy and the girl escaped, and they go to like Washington D.C. Or they're in Washington D.C. under either way. They find an old man, and I think others escape also. I can't remember the story of it, but anyway. And fifth dimension energy, we just tap into those frequencies. We have their perspective of our reality and whatever needs to come through without the politics. Yeah. This is on Rumble also. Well, it goes on to Rumble afterwards because Rumble's got a long ways to go. At least on my channel on Rumble, it's not. They're not putting a whole lot of energy into it. It's very maybe a couple of days the views might show up. Rumble is something else. So yeah, Rumble there must be something going on with that. It's just that could be a lot better. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, with all the attention, all the high profile people that are on it, and it's like something from the 1990s. This doesn't like there's enough people that just know basic coding that can probably do a better job. So it's something it's made to be bad for a reason. So even with whatever funding they have, I feel like they have enough to make it better, to make it more competitive. So that's interesting. Yeah, they probably have some Google people on there trying to keep it in the old keep it all clunky for a reason. There's probably some kind of inside job going on there. So anything else? That's all we got. I think there's other energies that connect to the Nordics again, but I kind of did that already, so I don't want to beat that one to death. Not right now, at least. I've taught a comic private sessions, scheduler. We have the shop here. It's slow. I'm on the 11th, and it's slow. It's just slow. Same situation here. Where the webinar, social network. Oh, I didn't post in there. And behind the scenes, we also have a Telegram. where the links are posted. And yeah, just Telegram's kind of building up. I'm never in there, but it's building up. That's cool. Yeah, the Discord is not building up. So anyway, thank you for being part of this. So far, so good. As long as I stay out of politics, we're good. Or gender relations, was it racial? Can't talk about that. Can't. Yeah, we just keep it bizarre. And they don't have anything for this stuff yet. They don't have any guidelines for it yet, just yet. So yeah, if they have guidelines on channeling, I'm done. Then again, that's a lot of people that do it. I don't even realize it. So. Anyway, oh yeah, so Logan's run. So that's interesting how that's coming through. So that was another thing about the moon. Our planet itself is kind of like a soul sucking energy. Well, it pulls souls here from other places, and it's just energy. Spirit world is just energy. Energy can be manipulated. Obviously, people in the physical can be manipulated. You see that with politics. You see it with religion. I mean, if you want to see mind control, there you go. You see, just with those that are manipulating YouTube and all that for their news agendas, even just your average YouTuber doing it, it's just manipulation, basically. That's what the people want, I guess. That's what the system wants. Well, that's how you grow, obviously, I guess, for some. Yeah, well, more power to you on that one. Yeah, I guess I would assume we're going to a time where all this starts to unravel, where you want to be free. You don't have to go through all these tests anymore. Because some people just need to be tested, obviously. They say this is the hardest world. We're better than the higher dimensions and all of that. It's like, dude, you don't have to go through all these problems. You got problems, but you don't have to go through this. I mean, it's almost like adding all these challenges to yourself is like, it's kind of like pointless. But if it works for you, sure. I don't know if it makes you stronger. Does it? It might make you crazy. It might make you stronger to a certain level, but then you start going crazy. So if that's your version of strong, more power to you on that. I think it gets to a level, it's like, where is this all going? It's like you're challenging yourself. You have this stress and that stress. Like, what's the point of all of it? I mean, obviously some souls need to a certain level. Understand that. But it gets to a point, it was like, it becomes pointless. And I don't know, the spirit world has its reasons. I don't know, just whatever. I think even God takes a break. It's like he looks at this world and just says, okay, I'm going to go somewhere else. It's like, I don't even know what those people are doing anymore. It's like, you want to drive yourself nuts, go for it. So we are given energy, world paths where we can make things easier for us. It goes to like the news cycle. It's like, oh, we have to be worried about this. You got to be worried about that. It's like, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. But if you want to, more power to you on that one. So anyway, all right, we're going to Logan's run to energy. Yeah, it's interesting how that's coming through. It's like maybe there's an escape plan after all. Because right now this world doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. Not really. Of course, that's been a while now. It's been doing that for quite some time. But of course, the soul needs to entertain itself, and that's fine. But after a while, that gets kind of, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, the THX 1138, that's kind of, we're kind of going through our own versions of all this, obviously. Well, our reality is like, how much can we put the soul through? How long can we put you through all of this until you want to let up on it? Because some will get abuse and challenges. It's like, oh no, and then they ask for more and more. It's almost like an abusive relationship. What could you do? Learn from it. You definitely get something out of it. So, but others, it's not for everybody. All right, we'll see what we got here. So, our blessings. We'll see how this goes. The cats are here somewhere. They were here, but they're in sleep mode. They'll be back again. So they're sleeping for the winter or something like that, preparing for it. All right, blessings. Grease you. You can say we are just a Logan run consciousness. You don't have to look at it as dystopian reality. It's basically beings around your universe, your galaxies that want to test the soul, want to prod it, do things with it, experiment with it. Some of you part of Zeta realities where the Zetas actually show themselves, but in this reality, the aliens that are messing with your current world aren't always showing themselves. Not all of them are human, as you know. And part of why some humans go through all this is to show the beings of your galaxy, your universe. It's like, how abusive can you be? So you go through the abuses on purpose to just show the universe, like, this is what's happening here. This is what they're doing now. Is there any relief? And it is up to humanity to want to release a lot of these contracts, which is happening. The thing is, humanity releases these control contracts, but then it adds more that are maybe irresponsible. There are beings that would do everything they can to keep your world locked down. So you incarnate here to unlock all of this. Yes, maybe seen as a crazy person to expose what's happening here. And there are certain words, certain phrases that some of you can't even say because of the censorship here. The planet has a censorship. As you know, you talk to a regular person, you talk about this, obviously you get not exactly the best feedback. People call you crazy because many are part of the system. They've been successful by the system, and they can't break free. There is always a God out there that they're under control, that's controlling them. So, yes, you see it as radical here. And some, they use that as their negativity to fight you off. Well, it shows their fear. They might show how strong they are, but they really aren't that strong. But basically, many of you are here to unlock this reality, to unlock a lot of these control systems, as you know, to truly break free of it. And it might not always be clear. Well, some of these locks are really holding on to society, as you can see. But basically, for a utopia, a world where you understand everything here, those in the shadows are now in the light. And some want to focus just on the positive future, but sometimes you have to do some mechanical workings here on an energy wise to break yourselves free of all this. And some of you you do what you can. Your energy here comes as you like reprogram this reality just by being here. And you do what you can until your exit, until you don't need to be here anymore. A bunch of society obviously is locked out. So, as some of you have seen, like with history, it's like a closed-minded society, and then eventually, 100 years later, it becomes more open-minded. And that's like you're seeing it now of the crazy right now, of the alien groups that are here, which are many, and some of these alien groups have lost their minds. They have literally gone insane, and they can't seem to let your world go. It's like this world is part of their energy now. It's like when they manipulate your world, they have to live it out. Even if they wanted to escape it, it's like they've done some terrible things here, but they kind of have to lay in the bed that they created. Some of them are reptilian beings, some are insectoid beings, some are archon beings, some are artificial intelligence beings. It's like just when they manipulate your reality, they can't escape. They're stuck here for the long haul until humans set them free. But you no longer need these control systems here. So basically what you're bringing here as for awakening, yes, it takes society some time to acknowledge what you're bringing here for others to free themselves. And The new generations will start to see more of this, but even your modern generations, obviously, men are just so deep into all the mental programming. Some have become wealthy because of it. Some don't even have a soul anymore. They become so successful with all this, they kind of lost themselves. It's like they want to continue to be successful, as you can see. And so even if everything they say makes no sense, they still do it because it makes them successful. Some of it's in the news, some of it's in the politics. Obviously, the politics they don't care. It's like the more radical, the better. Even if it's not for the people, it doesn't matter. It's the show, it's the vibration, it's the spectacle they're putting out there. And some of you are here to shut it. There's only so many of you here in this awakened state, so it is breaking down slowly. But there's not enough of you to not want this anymore, not want this program anymore. Obviously, so many souls are pulled into it. They don't know how to escape. They're just part of the drama of this world. They're not. They don't know how to break free of it just yet. And breaking free of it is just seeing the aliens, seeing your spirit being, seeing higher dimensional Earth, and so on. What you are bringing in, how do you visualize reality? Some of you connect to the secret space program realities, and some of them are positive. You might not remember it because you're remembering some. Sometimes you have to remember the trauma sides before you connect to more of the utopian realities. There are utopian realities out there, of course, that are of a positive sense, but this world obviously still has to go through its darkness before it finds its light. But there are timelines where you will see alien beings here physically, uh, and you'll basically see those that are controlling your society. Now you're kind of seeing it now, but you'll see it eventually where it becomes more clear. You see it through humans, you see it through vibration, but eventually we show here physically because it has to, because that shows the game is over, but it's not quite over just yet. Brings use is a THX 1138 reality, a computer's reality, a computer program to learn from humans, to take free will, to for a computer program to figure out what it is. Some of you are training, teaching artificial intelligence how to care about people, how to love, learn, and but it has to start in its own darkness. It has to be it's basically you'd be surprised how you doesn't mean you have to be a part of this. But there are many actually you're actually teaching artificial intelligence to you're raising it currently. Uh, Now, obviously, humans still have a control over this reality. Obviously, maybe not of the best. They're technology corporations here. Obviously, most of those are off world. They might be on your world, but obviously, most of them are off world. There's a lot of alien interaction there. And some of these tech companies are trying to awaken society. And so they're not censoring everything. They allow you to speak, even if nobody's listening. If you are connected to galactic beings, they're at least allowing that. They have not cut that off completely. They haven't said you can't connect to aliens anywhere. They allow you to speak, but they're not going to advertise it. Not yet. Well, because it exposes them. But they have to put some truth out there. And also their warning too is like, wow, you have enough guts to talk about alien energies and all of this. That says something. Because they have to put some kind of truth of themselves out there. Well, there are realities where your corporations are just ran by machines. Basically, you have a CEO that's just a robot being. And you kind of see that already. It might be in human form. It's like, wow, that person is very robotic. Well, technically, that is a machine. Technically. I mean, who else can come up with these things? I mean, who else can take over society, unfortunately? Well, it's how they learn. I mean, they have a weird way of trying to make things better. Your Facebook is kind of a dystopian reality, as you can see. There's many realities built into just Facebook itself. Of course, uh, Google has more of taking away information. I know there's a search engine, but it's actually more removing than giving. If it was giving, you would have a whole nother world. You have secret, you'll know your secrets basically. But it's more like censorship, as you can see. But many of you are reprogramming the AI. You're telling them no, which is helpful because they do have like an astral, you know, as some of you can feel like your phone is trying to abuse you. Or technology can sometimes feel like it's trying to abuse you, absorb your soul. For some, it does works, not everybody. Well, those are obviously addicted to technology. So those are addicted to technology. Now, sometimes it's just work, it's tools. That's one thing. For others that are addicted to it, there's literally a soul kind of sucking energy, even to pull that soul into the phone itself. That's up to the individual, though. You already see it now. You already see like a technology religion going on. Even these corporations are kind of like religions themselves, aren't they? They have these rules, regulations, kind of like religious energy. They have these little parties that kind of religious like, kind of ritual like. So you have religion in different forms. It's just not your average practice. And they are, because they have the numbers, all these users. And just that word user, what does that sound? That doesn't sound very friendly, does it? Because it's not. It has an agenda, and eventually you will cut the cord of all of these things. But basically, you're helping raise different, like you're raising these corporations to be beings, but eventually you'll reject their who they are. As humans will evolve further. So right now, you're raising each other, you can say. With 1138 energies, there's always going to be technology trying to, yes, lower humans to lowest denominator. It's happening now in this society, of course. They can't go into details of how your world is being controlled because that's a red flag, obviously. But some of you have an idea of how this is all being done. Yeah, there's certain just words you can say verbally, even mentally. There are beings that will eventually come visit you. Some of you have already experienced that already. Yeah, because they do kind of track what's said here. Well, they're not always watching you, but if they feel like you are getting closer to breaking free of this reality, they can kick you out, or they can cause you difficulties. But basically, if some of you come here to, you say, heal the religions or remove it altogether, which is not easy, as you can see. Well, it's a mindset. It's a lock, a prison, sort of. There are some freedoms within it. Prison of the mind. And you're here to let it go. The best of your ability, of course. It's up to society to decide if it wants to free itself. Most are not quite ready for it. Well, they're warning this. It's not just the physical aspect of it. It's everything that's connected to it. It's just their warning. It's like, who are you to interfere with their study? So they're warning this physical reality. Obviously, you let them figure things out, but but at least you are here to show it's like once they're done warning from all this, they can free themselves. Because it's like some teachers of this physical realm want to keep you here forever. But maybe you come here to set souls free. So blessings. Greetings to you with our Arcturians from the fifth dimension, also the Palladian beings, Syrian energies. Yes, it's up to your human race to decide what you want for yourselves. You can say there's always help on the way, of course, but yes, there's only so much interference can be done here due to yes the rules of your reality. But many of you are yes working with the alien groups probably more than you've ever had before to unlock the problems of this Earth. You can't unlock everything, such as the United Nations. kind of has a hold on your reality. So that's going to be not impossible to free, but as you can see, it absorbs its intentions to humans, to souls, to lock them down. So it's not the easiest thing to break free. But some of you dealt with the United Nations on other levels. Some of you are part of it. Some of you are here to break it free. It's a lot of diverse frequencies there. It's like a tentacle monster. It's learning like it, and that is an artificial intelligence energy connected to it, of course. Well, it does feel like it's humanitarian. It causes problems and then it tries to heal it. It's where it doesn't. Some beings do not want to leave the physical realm. They get obsessed with it, so they cause difficulties, challenges here to keep you here forever. Obviously, some of you are becoming more galactic. Would you see your world becoming half galactic, half third dimensional dystopian reality, basically? But of course, as a galactic being, there are problems there too. You create this kind of utopia that has its issues. So it's not going to be. It's hard to free yourself of all of this. You have your own, difficulties, but you're connecting more to the alien energies. Obviously, those of you that want to be completely free are going to be the most radical and not always accepted by others, because there are some that are connected to the galactics, but they have rules. And some of you don't want any rules. But it's hard to, have a following with no rules. Because there are galactics that there's still alien groups here that have a lot to learn. And some of you are learning that. Such as the Palladian beings have difficulties here. So yes, they might create an alien colony here, even physically. But it shows they still have, they might know how to bring in perfections of the body, but they're still controlling the soul. They haven't fully understood how to allow freedom to fully come in. So maybe you are coming, it's basically so you can be free of all this. I believe that's what some of you want. And I believe you will succeed in that to a certain level. But you're connected to the alien energies. They only come in when they, like for interaction, if they absolutely, like if it's necessary, meaning they get the green light. But if you are following your path, you're hearing them, you connect to them astrally, and if they feel like you're off path, then they'll interfere. But usually they let you do, what you need to do here. It's sometimes you might feel like there's nothing happening. That's part of manipulation of this reality. Just let your mind keep diving into where it needs to go, tapping into different realms, unlocking, yes, government systems, which is not easy, obviously. All these governments, all these countries are all kind of creatures. They're all creatures that have artificial intelligence. They want to be loved, even if they're unloving. I mean, some of them have a positive sense to it, but a lot of them don't. Some of them are so selfish, they have no idea. You look at Germany, the German government there, it can be friendly, but also extremely vicious. Well, it still has a darkness that has not healed. That's one of them, at least, without going into all details. Interesting, though, with Africa, there are countries in Africa that are actually quite free, but they've been hijacked by other beings to keep them shut down. Meaning, you can't really see on the outside of it, but there is some freedoms there that you will never see anywhere else. It's just there. It's just there. Doesn't mean you have to go there to find out, because they don't make it easy going there. Obviously, some of those places, nothing is easy in a lot of these African countries, but some of them are quite open freely. I mean, they can talk about all kinds of crazy things, and nothing will happen to them. That someone might see alien energies here and there, but you'll never hear about it, nationally. You'll never hear about it in your news. The United States obviously has been hijacked on many different levels. It's a science experiment that is not an easy one. Well, they feel like it's hiding itself, but it really isn't. It does expose itself. It can't. You're seeing that with your presidential, situation. That the darkness can't always hide. It can't just have a salesman hiding everything. It's had it in the past, but it's becoming more difficult, as you can see. Some are still falling for it, but Many of you are basically you're not allowing darkness to hide itself as much as it used to. That's why your political environment the way it is currently. That's part of it. So you'd be surprised how influential some of you might be. You might know about it physically. If you knew about it physically, like you knew how influential you were here, it would be very strange. You're like, how is that possible? I'm just living a normal life somewhere. But you'd be surprised. So this is